Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Behind the Blind. This is Nadir.
And this is Yadira.
What's up, wife?
What's up?
How you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
How's life?
Alhamdulillah. I
That's
get
cool.
coffee in it, so
Yeah.
good.
We need coffee.
Yay for coffee. So
All right.
what we're doing today is a little bit different. We're changing pace. We're not talking about me no more.
Oh, we're not talking about Dita.
Nope. Not for now anyway. We're talking about
Yadira.
you.
Talk about me.
About you.
There ain't much to say about me.
Yeah, but your story's still interesting.
I'm just like plain old Ned.
No, I think you downplay yourself too much. So
I'm boring, bro.
you're really not. You make me
Okay,
laugh.
sure.
Like every day. So you're not boring.
Let's talk about me.
So
right?
I will ask you
And,
some things.
Yeah,
And then you'll answer with whatever you feel like sharing.
sure.
Okay?
I'm down with that.
Okay.
Let's go.
So let's go a little bit of background.
Okay.
Where are you from sort of ethnically? Start from there. And then were you born Muslim? Were you convert? And this is basic information, but let's start
right.
with the most basic.
Okay, so once upon a time.
Oh, dear God. See, no, this is... We're not
I can't stay serious. This is hard. Okay.
No
so,
one's telling you to be serious, but
all
don't
right.
start with once upon a time. What's wrong with you?
This is what I do, bro. I mean, come on. You know it's gonna get. You know the goofy level's gonna go up like 100 times
Okay.
whenever I get on the mic.
Can you
right?
just-
All right. Okay. So originally I'm from Palestine. I'm Palestinian from the West Bank, little town called Ramoon. Right. That's where we're from, and I was born and raised in a Muslim household. But it was more of
In Palestine or in America?
in the U.S. I was
Okay.
born on a cold, starry night.
Oh, dear Lord.
No,
No,
I was
you weren't. Your birthday's in June. You're literally a summer baby.
Okay, so I was born in June, right? My birthday is June 23rd, 1985. I don't know what time.
Okay.
And I was born in New Jersey, in Paterson, New Jersey,
Okay.
in St. Joseph's Hospital.
Wow, you're just going to give a whole, like, what's your social security while you're at it? Don't do that.
All right, no, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so where was I? Okay, so born in New Jersey.
Are you an only
And-
child?
No, I'm the oldest of 6 children.
All right.
Right, we are 3 boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
And
So you were born into a Muslim family?
I was born and raised in a Muslim family, yes. And like I said, it was more of a cultural Islamic upbringing. And by that, it's not that we practiced Islam, of course, but we didn't really understand why we practiced Islam.
Okay.
Right? So we prayed. Why do we pray? Just because I said, go pray.
Right.
Or you're going to get smacked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what it is. So that's what I mean by cultural Muslim upbringing. This is a part of your culture more than it is a decision and a way of life.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
So that's how we grew up. We grew up in New Jersey, in northern New Jersey, about 20, 30 minutes from the city our whole lives. And it was a pretty sheltered upbringing, right? Like we really didn't go out like that. We'd only go out to like families' houses. Mm-hmm. We'd go to the park and the lake and stuff like that. Very routine driven.
Okay.
Right? I guess that's a good way of saying it. We always did the same things.
Right.
Over and over.
Did you
and
ever
over
feel
again.
that was monotonous?
Yeah, but you do whatever's in front of you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You don't. It's not like, first of all, it's not like I had any choice in the matter.
Right.
let's be real here. I had no choice in the matter at all. But it was cool. You get close with your family, and you know this too.
Yeah.
You grow up very close to your cousins.
I did. I was very...
And we were the
thing.
same, right? We really didn't have friends outside of school, at least until I was in late middle school, high school.
I would say
right?
for me it was high school,
Yeah.
where my friends were allowed to come over, and I had like one friend. I could spend
Definitely
the night.
more in high school than
Yeah.
anything else. Definitely more in high school. But it was just, we're just...
Okay, but I think you were more sheltered than I was, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because I did a lot. We went through my story, and it was rough, but it wasn't all bad.
Like we went to Michigan. That was our trip.
Right.
I went to Palestine once in my lifetime.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I really did.
We used to go to the shore, the Jersey Shore.
I went to California whenever my sister was getting married.
We went to the shore. We went to Rochester, which was upstate New York, and then we went to camping all the time. We did a lot. I think you definitely had more sheltering.
Yeah, no, we really, we didn't do much when it came to that stuff. So
yeah, you guys weren't out at eating at restaurants a lot, which we did. And
no, we went to buffets a lot. It was a big family. You know what I'm saying?
I got to tell you, we never did buffets unless it was the buffet by the one by the Bally's Casino in Atlantic City.
Oh, there you go.
When I was younger.
Go.
Whenever we went out to eat with your family for the first time, it was a buffet, and that blew my mind.
You're like, people do this outside of Atlantic City?
I was like, wait, this is a regular thing? Oh, all right.
I'm trying to figure out a way on how to keep track of the time here, right? Like, because we're doing something new here, right?
Yeah.
We're not recording with an audio software. I'm recording a video.
Yeah.
As you can see, guys, right? You can see this is a video.
Okay, listen
and,
though.
Hold on.
You just don't want to talk about yourself.
I'm gonna talk about myself. It's gonna happen. I'm just trying to figure out where the heck do I keep whatever. We're gonna just record, and when we end, we end.
Yeah, basically.
That's it.
Okay, so listen. So what else about you? You certainly are disabled.
Yeah, so
let's talk about a little bit about your blindness.
All right, so I have a condition called LCA. It's Leber's congenital amaurosis, which is a degenerative condition, right? So that means that my eyes didn't fully develop, or the retinas in my eyes did not fully develop. That's what that means. And pretty much what it is that I can see, but my vision is extremely limited. So I can't see far away. I can't see small objects. I see better with my peripheral vision. So the vision from the side of my eyes than the front of my eyes. I could see about 15-20% of what the average person could see. So maybe even less. I think it's just an estimate on that, really.
Do you think that over the years the condition has worsened?
Yeah. Definitely has worsened. Yeah, I mean, it went from a point to where I really wasn't using a cane to now where I use my cane very often, and
it's very rare that I don't see you with a cane.
Yeah, I mean, it's
very rare.
I'm usually using my cane everywhere I go, and and now it's just a point to where I can't really imagine traveling without my cane. I start to kind of panic, like, yo, where's my cane?
Yeah.
Where's my cane? And it's because once you start having a tool to avoid walking into things, you're like, yeah, I need to have this tool with me all the time.
That's how I feel about my dog. Like, I need my dog. I can't not be with my dog.
So I in my family, there are many other people that
was going to be my next question.
Blind. Yeah, so it's not just me. Unlike you, it's just you.
Yeah, I'm the anomaly.
To your knowledge, right?
To my knowledge,
you got this
There's a whole side of the family I don't know, which we already discussed.
But for me, it is a bunch of blind people. I have some cousins, I have a couple of aunts, I have an uncle, I have some distant cousins, like my parents' cousins, things like that. So it's very common. This isn't strange in my family.
Right.
What is strange, at least with the newer generation of us, is that we're not as dependent on our family as the older generation is.
Okay.
Now, it could be on them. It could be on the blind people. It could be on the sighted people.
Or it could be a
combination of the both, right? Mm-hmm. But with my generation, me and a couple of the cousins, and even one of my aunts, very independent.
Right.
Very independent. And I feel like, at least for me, I feel like I have something to prove. Like, yeah, I'm blind, but that doesn't mean I can't do something.
I think that's the case for the blind community overall. For those of us who do decide to step up and feel comfortable with being independent and confident, we're always, like, I've said this so many times, being blind is exhausting. Like, you wake up exhausted because our constant daily existence is proving that we are just as everyone else is. We're equal. We can do what you do. But except the difference is that able-bodied people don't live their lives proving that they can.
Yeah.
We constantly have to prove that we can and that we have the right to do certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the general thing. So growing up in your home, you are the only blind child out of the 6 siblings.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So what was that like?
It was interesting, right? So as mentioned before, I'm the oldest, right? I'm the oldest of 6 kids. Mm-hmm. And what that does is it puts a lot of pressure on you.
Okay.
To be the example, I guess.
Right.
Right? So what happens is because of this pressure, so to speak. Hey, I found the time.
God.
I found where it is. Let's go. Very excited. All right. So
I'm so done with you.
what? Yo, so we were talking about this real quick, real side note. We were talking about this before we started recording. And I really feel like I have something wrong as far as neurally, right? Because whenever I start thinking of something, I start to really hyper focus on it.
You've never gotten like an ADD diagnosis, but I think you exhibit certain symptoms
Yeah,
of it.
sure.
Not to the point where it interferes with your life, but I don't think ADHD, but maybe a little bit of ADD. I think so.
I get super obsessive. So yeah, so I was looking for that time the whole
I knew you were. I
Oh,
swear to
God,
God. Well,
the
I
whole
knew
time.
that the whole time in the back of your head, I'm like, this man is looking for the time. I know you. I just
So
Anyway,
alhamdulillah, found the
alhamdulillah.
time, which is very good.
okay. Can you
But-
continue with your story?
Yeah, of course. So the pressure is high, man, because the thing is everyone looks at you. And so I have multiple levels of pressure. I have pressure of being the oldest, right? I have pressure of being a blind person that's constantly trying to prove something.
Right.
And also I have my brother that's a year younger than me. He's a year younger than me.
Right.
So it's like constant competition. And I don't want it to be a competition, but it just feels like it's a competition. And I feel like the way we grew up, it kind of put it like it was a competition. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense.
right?
And I think from
And
certain generations.
that strained my relationship with that brother of mine for a long time until, quite recently, alhamdulillah,
I think what happens is people of a certain generation have a different mindset and view of how to raise children. And so they did things that now we would never think to do as parents. It's not a judgment on them. It was just a different generation. Just like with my grandmother, she did a lot of things that were wrong, but she also did a lot of things that were right. And I think, as horrible as it sounds, she did the best she could with the tools she had, and she didn't have very good tools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens a lot. And so it's very quick to say, oh, these parents were toxic, or these parents were abusive, or these parents were X, Y, and Z. They were probably dealing with very rusty tools. You know what I mean? They didn't have the best tools at their disposal, and they kind of did the best that they could with what they had.
Yeah.
It doesn't excuse it on whether it's my side, your side, a stranger side, doesn't matter. But it is an explanation for it, and you can give a little bit of grace. Because, at the end of the day, like when it comes to my grandma, it is what it is. And I don't hate her for it. Sorry,
We got to bleep that one out.
my bad. It was stuff that happened.
I told you it's going to be raw here. Let's go.
It was stuff that happened. Stuff. And sometimes, some days are better than others. Some days I'm angrier.
You know what's funny?
What?
I'm the one that curses way more than you.
I know.
And I have been so under control.
I know.
here.
You've been so good. I'm so proud of you.
And you have slipped up.
I did.
This is great. I'm totally going to just block that with either a beep or a silence.
Yeah.
Because you're going to know.
You're going to know.
People will know. It's going to be like, sometimes you feel like, beep.
You know what? It's like, I'm usually more composed and proper. You know? And then there's that. That's me. It's me being me. But anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of this, right?
So what happens with your parents, I think, is, I don't think they meant to put that pressure between the two of you and kind of cause that strain, but it happened.
I think a lot of things happened but weren't meant for that purpose.
Right.
I think that's a lot of people growing up here with immigrant parents.
I think so.
Right? And my mom, let's clarify something. My mom came here way earlier in life.
Right.
She came here
was
way earlier in life. My father's who came here in 84.
Right.
Right? My father came here in 1984. My mother came here, went back home.
And then came back.
Got married, and then came back here with him. So, it's a learning process, right?
Yeah.
And whenever I see my dad with me and my brother, us as the older ones, and then I see my dad with my younger brother, the youngest, it's a stark difference.
But I have to tell you, when I see, because, we've been in each other's lives for so long, and I see your parents, particularly your father,
Yeah.
with his 3 sons, and even his daughters, but particularly sons, because, you know, I'm focusing from your perspective.
Yeah.
And then I see him with our children. It is like a totally different man.
Oh, it's night and day.
It's like, who is this man? You know what I mean? It's not even the same person.
My father with our children, mashallah, man. Like,
Yeah.
forget about it. Like, it's crazy because one time, you know, Nuhi was acting up, Nuhi being one of our children.
No, yeah.
And Nuhi was acting up, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm got to flip out." And my dad's like, "No, take it easy, calm down." And like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, you would have thrown me through a wall if I was doing this.
Time, let me tell you, when Della, I think, must have been like 2, and he kept playing by your dad's rose bushes, and your dad kept saying, "Habibi, don't do that. No, you're gonna get hurt because there were thorns." And at one point, Della slipped and almost fell into the thorns, and your dad scooped him up and he gave him one spank on his butt. He still had a diaper on, okay? And then it was insane because he immediately started crying. Not my kid.
No.
Your dad was so upset, and he picked him. He was like, "I'm so sorry, but you were going to get hurt, and I didn't mean to do that." And then he gave him $1. And you were like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, no. Very, very much so threw me off.
Your dad was like hugging him and kissing his head, and he was just like, "I'm so sorry, but please don't go play there." And let me tell you, he didn't go back to play there.
No.
He didn't. And then your dad gave him $1. I was
Then my dad gave him $1, bro.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
But anyway.
But no, alhamdulillah, that's good. That's what you want to see.
That's what
you know
that's
what I mean?
growth.
You want to see that. And
That's growth.
alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So yeah, so many blind people. My parents really never treated me differently because of that.
Okay.
Like, my dad's the guy that if I knocked something over, he'd smack me upside the head and be like, "Walak fattah ainek," which means like, "Boy, open your eyes."
Right.
You know, so
Right. Very normal. Kind of
very
similar
normal.
to how I grew up.
Yes. Except my mom, she always encouraged me to use my cane.
Right. That's the difference.
I give my mom that much. She always encouraged me to use my cane. But because I thought I'm not going to look cool with a cane.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to look cool with this cane. Not thinking that how much of a benefit it would be.
Right.
I was just thinking.
It wasn't going to look good.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't do it.
Typical kid ignorance.
Yeah. Stupid kid, pretty much.
Typical kid. Yeah, that's the difference, because my grandmother, I was absolutely like everyone else, but my grandmother really did not want me using the cane. And I haven't figured out exactly why that is. There were so many different reasons. And of course, people are like, "Oh, she didn't want people seeing that you were blind." But I really don't know if that's the only reason. There were other things that might have contributed to that. But it's good that your mom encouraged you to use your cane. You chose not to do that.
No.
Okay, so how were things in school for you? So we talked a little bit about your family life. So you being a blind child in school, were there other blind children in school with you? Were you the only one? How was it?
I was the only, as far as I can remember, I was the only blind kid in my school.
Okay.
Right? And to go along with that, all my blind family did not live around me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you didn't have that sort of blind community?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Neither did I.
There was one cousin, distant cousins, but like my immediate blind family, my uncle, my aunts, my first cousins, they did not live around me.
Okay.
So I really didn't have that, surrounding experience, I guess. Right? I don't know. My words are terrible right now.
Did you ever really integrate yourself or attend any events that are specifically blind community centered, so sponsored by the Commission of the Blind?
Well, we mentioned how I thought Camp Marcella was in Canada.
That will never not be funny.
So Camp Marcella is a camp for blind kids in New Jersey, right? In New Jersey.
Canada.
And I went once to Camp Marcella. It was a week long, and I don't know. They have 2 weeks. Maybe I went for 2 weeks. I don't know. I really can't recall.
When we worked there, it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I can't really remember.
Yeah.
And that was my first like straight up experience with the blind community.
Okay.
And bro, I was like, yeah, this is weird.
It was weird. It was different.
Very weird.
Very different.
Because us as blind people, like I said, we were raised in a very normal way, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't so weird. We didn't,
because I think for both mine and your family, they didn't allow the blindness to define who we were.
Yeah.
They just happened to be, the blindness was just a characteristic in the same way of the color of our eyes or skin or you know what I mean? Or you don't like peanut butter.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
It's just a part of who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not a major focus.
Exactly.
Right? So whenever I meet kids rocking back and forth, and I'm like, what's wrong with that kid?
Well, they're doing
You know what I mean?
That's a self. We were talking about that the other day. That's a
Yeah.
self-soothing action.
But that is not an acceptable.
So it's not a socially appropriate
there you
behavior.
go. That's not an acceptable behavior in society, but they'll accept it from someone that's blind, and it's not like they have some sort of neurodivergent disorder.
Exactly.
Right?
Where in autism, or anyone on the spectrum, it's a very, very different thing.
We're just talking about the person's just blind.
And they
That's
have
it.
right, and they're not
Nothing else
neurodivergent.
is
and they
going
don't
on.
they're not multi-disabled. They're just blind. And so what happens is they start to rock because they need to feel secure in their surroundings. They can't see what's around them, and so that sometimes can get a little bit overwhelming.
So whenever you see that, you're like, "What the hell is happening?"
Especially if you've never,
I've never experienced that before.
Yeah, I've never.
I was like, "Why is my man rocking back and forth?" Or why is my man talking to me, but he's looking all over the place?
Right.
I was like, "What is happening?" And you know what it is? Like I have, like I said, I have other blind family members that they move slowly. They do move their head slowly, but it's hard to. Like, I'm not really paying attention. I guess.
Right. It's not really overtly.
Yeah, but for these, like this is like all over the place, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how you're not dizzy right now, right? So I went to Camp Marcel. I was 11, thinking I was going to Canada.
That's
I was
hilarious.
not in Canada. I was in New Jersey. That was my experience until. All right, so let's talk about school. Right,
Yes.
let's talk about school. For
Yeah,
now.
yes. How
So
was
I just
school
went
for
to
you?
normal school, just like you.
You were
right?
mainstreamed?
I did not go to blind school. I was mainstreamed, which I didn't even know that term until you.
Okay.
Just to, right? I call you Adita the grammar Nazi.
Shut up.
Right? And
Grammar has nothing to do with
and the
vocabulary.
thing
Grammar is
hold
punctuation.
on,
I'm going to
wait.
shut up now because I'm
And the
proving your
reason
point.
why, look at this, look at this lady, unbelievable. I remember, I think I used the word conversate,
Oh dear God.
and she just went off on me. She was
go
like,
off.
"Conversate is not a word." I was like, "What do you mean? It's
I don't talk
conversate.
like that.
You know, you have a conversation, you conversate." It's like it's converse.
Talk like that.
It's converse. So to everyone who uses the term conversate, please don't say it around my wife. She will not let you live it down. So
Anyway,
I went to
back to our
regular
conversation.
school. I was mainstreamed.
God.
Right? I remember I had a pre-K teacher. I think she was pre-K. It was Miss Persisto
Okay.
and Miss Bono.
Okay.
And elementary school, we lived in Passaic. We went to Martin Luther King School number 6.
Right. You lived in the hood.
Yeah, that was in the hood, bro. That was the hood. Okay?
Anyway.
And growing up, man, and I was the only Arab kid. I think there was one other Arab kid, like me and my siblings. Only Muslims. So whenever we would fast during Ramadan, which I started fasting at the age of 7. Hamido, my brother, started fasting at the age of 6. It's like, bro, like I don't know about him, but I cheated. I went and I snuck water. You know what I mean?
You were 7. We
You're
don't start
7 years
fasting
old,
here
bro.
until around 10 or 11.
Yeah, we don't start fasting until 9, 10 years old.
Right.
Just because we like to explain things to the kids. But why was I told to
okay.
fast? Because you have to fast.
No.
You know what I
let me
mean?
See, Dala fasted around 10 or 11 or something like that. Noah chose to fast. Mm-hmm. And he did every other day this year.
Yeah.
And he we didn't tell him to. He chose to do that. And he's 9.
Yeah.
And he took it upon himself because we've taught him or whatever. So he wanted to participate in it. And we
Yep.
make such a big deal out of Ramadan, just a side note, in this house, that fasting almost feels like this really, really nice community thing, like this whole family unit thing, where, they actually understand that we're all doing this together, why we're doing it. And he wanted to be part of it. So he fasted. And even my 7-year-old did, Sohila did what?
She did.
She did like 4 days.
She did some half days and
And then she did like, I think 3 or 4 full days. And then she did like 3 or 4 half days.
yeah.
And that's a lot for her, but not because we made her. I think you specifically have been very adamant about not making them do things because I said so.
Yeah, no,
when it comes to religion.
I want them
particularly.
to understand things.
And I think, do you think that is a result of how you were taught religion and how you were raised in it?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Right. We keep veering off sides
Because this is us.
Yeah. So I went to this school. I was in this school till 5th grade. I completed 5th grade.
Okay.
And in this school, I was the only kid, Muslim, Arab, blind. Like, I tick all the boxes, right? And this is the hood. So everybody there was black and Hispanic.
Right.
Okay? Like, we literally went to the projects to pick up kids.
Yeah, I know. I lived in the projects. So
in
I
the
was
school bus.
I was
go
part
to
of that
school
bubble.
bus, literally go to the projects.
I never did
to
the
go
bus,
pick up
though.
kids. And man, was I picked on, bro.
Really?
Oh my God, was I picked on in elementary school. It was bad, bro. Like, I would be fighting a lot. I fought a lot. And subhanAllah, it took up until 5th grade. Finally, I was kind of accepted by my peers, right? Just showing that I would not fight. I would not fight. Like, I wouldn't just lay down and take it. Exactly.
You wouldn't back down.
I would fight. And I was finally respected. I remember there's one kid named Kashif. I don't know, short kid. Kashif was a short kid, and I stepped on his suede shoes.
Oh my God, you're turning into me with like Olivia.
And my man,
no,
like,
I'm sorry,
stepped on my
Regina.
suede shoes, Nadir, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this was in 4th grade maybe. And I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, I didn't see, you know. And this is the thing, right? Like, my man is in the projects.
Right.
My man is in the projects. They're obviously struggling.
Right.
But my man got suede shoes on. And this is the thing. This is the thing in the hood, right? People will not pay for a better place to live, but they'll pay for expensive ass clothes,
name brand stuff,
and shoes,
it's a whole
stuff like
there's a
that.
mentality behind it and stuff. But anyway,
so anyway,
so you stepped on his
so I stepped
shoes.
on his shoes. My man wanted to fight me, so we fought. You
Right.
know what I mean? We fought after school, and nobody cared. I didn't get suspended or anything like that. And I just remember that. That's just an anecdote, right? Oh, wait, funny story. There was one time we were in, I don't know what class it was. I think it was in 4th grade. Okay. And there was a kid named Freddie.
Okay.
I think Freddie was Mexican. Okay. A lot of Mexicans in Passaic. Love Passaic. Passaic's cool. Nothing against Mexicans, right? So my man is reading. You know, we're in this thing where we all read out loud.
Yeah,
Everybody
because they
reads
make
like a
kids do
paragraph.
that.
Yeah, they do that in public school. They
Right.
make them all read out loud. And my man, Freddie, was reading. And he was like,
you can't even tell.
yeah. My man was reading, and he was like, and they saw an UFO.
Wait, what is an UFO?
It's
A
not
UFO?
UFO.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Poor Freddie.
So we all laughed. It was
Did Freddie laugh?
no, he didn't laugh. He was like 9. He felt horrible.
Poor Freddie.
Oh God, I just had to mention that UFO.
Oh God. Anyway, see,
so-
I was part of the bubble because I did live in the projects, but I was Puerto Rican. No, I am Puerto Rican, and everybody else was Puerto Rican or black. And so we had a very, everyone was like you. Everyone was like you.
So-
you didn't have that experience.
No, not at all. I did not have that experience at all. So anyway, so we're there, and finally, 5th grade, people start getting cool with me. I'm accepted by my peers. Everyone is cool.
Right.
And then we move.
And so then basically.
So then we moved to Clifton. This is because we were actually in a 2-family house. And for those who don't know what a 2-family house is, which, Habibti, if you didn't know, people don't know what a 2-family house is.
It's so weird when they don't know.
It's fine. I get it. It's not all over the country. So
No,
that's why
I'm
they
not
don't
saying
know.
weird in a bad way. It kind of throws me off, and they're like, "No, what is that?" And I'm like, "Wait, I have to think about how to explain this to you," because it's so common in Jersey.
Yeah, it is.
It's very, very common.
If you guys are wondering why I keep looking over to the side, listen, guys, you guys gotta understand something. We're running this whole thing ourselves, and we're both blind, and I got this mixer right here, and sometimes I hit the mute button because I'm clearing my throat, and I want to make sure that it's not muted while I'm talking, because that would suck. That would suck. I'm sitting here talking 15, 20, 30 minutes, and it's muted the whole time.
Yeah.
It has happened before, so we want to make sure that it doesn't happen here. But anyway, so we move. And we moved to Clifton. Clifton's a nice town. Was a nice town, at least. It's still okay. But whenever I moved in, super white town, right? Like really, really white.
So you were again a minority.
So in my school, in the new school, and they had middle school here. So for those, I was explaining 2-family house. For those who don't know, a 2-family house is a house with like 2 apartments on top of each other. Okay. Whereas like over here in Texas, there's duplexes where there are 2 apartments next
Side
to
by
each other.
side, but this one's on one on
this
top
is
of
one
the
on
other.
top of the other. So it
In the
was
same
it was
house,
owned
basically.
by, I believe it was owned by my father and my uncle, and my uncle was ready to to sell his part. He wanted to buy a house, I guess, or something, whatever. And we had a renter upstairs, and that's it. We were ready to move out. My dad was ready to buy a house.
So you did. You guys moved.
So my father, alhamdulillah, he was able to buy a house. So we moved to Clifton, and nice neighborhood where we lived in, fairly quiet. Still pretty much is. Still pretty quiet right now, actually. But when I first moved in, it was so white, like super white. I was not used to this at all. I remember there was the neighbor in front of us right across the street. His name was Chris.
Don't give his last name.
Something. Yeah, Chris. At first we were cool, and then he was a little jerk. So F Chris.
Okay.
Everybody hates Chris. There you go. Not a Simpsons reference, but
Anyway, continue.
everybody hates Chris reference. Anyway, so we moved into Clifton, and now now the demographic isn't all black and Hispanic. Now it's mostly white with a sprinkling of black and Hispanic, mostly Hispanic. There were some black kids, of course, and there were a few Arabs, right? A few Arabs in the area, but I was still the only blind kid in school.
So you still had
I
to
still
deal with
checked the box, right? So of course, here we go. Kids are jerks. Kids suck. So they, picking on me, cracking jokes and all this stuff. And I remember, I think this was 6th grade. 6th grade was was the craziest year, right? Because I moved to a new place.
That was 7th grade for me. It's crazy.
I was 11. Yeah, same year, subhanAllah.
Same year, subhanAllah.
So kids are picking on me, telling all these jokes about me being blind. And I remember I was mad at the one, I think he was Puerto Rican kid, lived up the street from me named Josh. He was cool whenever we got older, like in high school and stuff, we were cool. But at this point, man, short kid and just talking trash. And I remember he said something to me. He was like, I don't know what I was talking some crazy
Well,
nonsense
anyways,
back
it
then.
doesn't matter what
But
you said.
Anyway,
you got into a fight with him.
Yeah, I got into a fight because he was like, at least I go to church, not like you at home doing witchcraft.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a big misconception. And he's just spouting.
Yeah, whatever
what
he hears.
Exactly.
Right? I guarantee you he heard his mom say that or something like that.
Or somebody in his family or somebody he knew because they don't know anything,
Yep.
And it's like fear of the unknown, hatred of the unknown.
And I was an angry child, man. Like, let me tell you, wife.
Yeah.
You could see, as much as I try to hold back my anger, I'm still a very angry person.
Here's the thing. You think you're an angry person. I think that you have a lot of things to work through. You're not really an angry person because you don't take it out on the kids.
No, I don't take it out on you.
You don't take it out on me.
But I get angry really easily.
But I think you've learned coping mechanisms over the years. And I see great improvement because these kids are not afraid of you, not even one bit. You know what I mean? These kids love you, and you're not a hurtful, abusive person. Like I'm going to declare that because a lot of people will take, well, he's angry. He's, the tyrannical Muslim. That's not the case at all in this house. Not even a little bit. Every one of us has our issues to deal with and work through. And he just has some of this anger stuff that he has to work through. But at no point has he ever caused any harm to any one of us. Not any of the 4 kids, not myself. You're just not that person. You know what I mean?
Thanks for the cosign, wife.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very angry child. And at the same time, my father.
I think you were also a very hurt child.
Yeah.
And that's where the anger was.
Well, that's where the anger comes from, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you were hurt.
We say what I keep saying this: hurt people.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what it is, right? And me and him fought. I powerbombed him.
Oh Lord.
Right, I powerbombed him. FYI, always a huge wrestling fan.
Yep.
Till this day, still like pro wrestling.
When I met you, and till this day.
Till this day, and we'll tell stories about that too, as we go along with my journey of growing up.
Anyway, continue. So middle school's being rough for you right now.
Middle school's very rough, right? So we fight, and I fought, all that stuff. So that summer, we go to Michigan. I think I'm in Michigan for like a good month, that whole summer. And my cousins, I don't know what and how this happens, but I get introduced to Tupac.
Right.
Right? And Tupac kind of changed my whole view on things. And subhanAllah, I think it was the year after he died. Yeah, because Biggie died while I was in 6th grade.
He died in
I remember
March
I liked
of me being
Biggie.
in 7th grade. Yeah.
I liked Biggie, right? Because I liked Hypnotized. That's the year Hypnotized came out, right? And then I go and I learn about Tupac. And man, did that just completely changed me. Until this day, my favorite Tupac song is Only God Can Judge Me.
Yeah, it's a great song though. And I'm not huge on hip hop, but I do like Tupac. And I think he was a very intelligent man.
That song just changed my mindset.
Very creative,
right?
you know what I mean? And that song was a great song. Or is a great song.
It's an awesome song. And And what happened is after I started listening to Tupac, I kind of developed this I don't give a F attitude.
Right.
Like, I don't care. Say whatever you want. And then what happened was whenever I came back to school, one of the first day of school, someone tried to crack a joke on me. And I don't know why I said this to him, but I was like, bro, it's not the same anymore. I listen to Tupac now. Like, that's literally what I said. I listen to Tupac now. And
It's so funny because like at 12 years old, I was like a big, profound, like, you know what I mean?
what?
I listen to Tupac now. So
Yeah. I listen
like
to Tupac now.
Yeah, like at 12 years old, I was like,
And
oh,
the thing is,
snap.
and I was always like musically inclined. I could sing a lot when I was a kid. I was singing a lot, and
Well, I think that's one of those things you and I have in common, and that kind of draws each other
yeah,
to one another. We're really musically inclined.
yeah. So and the thing is, so I listen to Tupac now. So this is me going back into school, right? So we'll kind of continue off of that, but let's rewind a bit, right?
Okay.
So while I'm going to public school, I'm also going to Sunday school.
Right. I was going to ask
Right.
you how was that like at the Masjid?
I
How
also
was your experience
went
at the Masjid?
to Sunday school. Now, we weren't really involved with the Masjid like that. You know,
Okay.
we weren't like a Masjid, like every time the Masjid had an event, we would go. No, that was not us.
Yeah,
We
you were
would
not
go-
a Masjid family. You
No.
did what you had to
We
do.
would go on Fridays,
Right.
right? And then we would go on Sunday school. And Sunday school is a Sunday or Saturday school, weekend school, whatever you want to call it. You send your kids there for a few hours.
I think every religion has that.
Yeah, they learn how to read Arabic because reading Arabic for Muslims it is important. It is important, right? Because the if you really want to understand a lot of the deeper things of the core doctrine, at least in the past, Arabic was absolutely necessary, right?
Well,
And
now it's a little different, right?
it is, but at the same time, so much is in English, but at the same time, to really be recognized as a scholar, you need to know
Well, I mean,
Arabic.
if that's your goal,
Yeah,
to
of
be a
course.
scholar. But I'm just saying, so much information is available not only in English, but now with
But you
YouTube
do
and
need,
things
like,
of
for
that
example,
nature.
to pray, you need to know Arabic.
Well,
right?
I don't know Arabic.
You
I
need to know some Arabic.
I know the basics. I know what I need to know, and I don't know Braille Arabic either.
But it's good to know Arabic, right? So they teach you Arabic, how to read it, which they could not teach me because I'm blind, and of
So
course
those
they
an
don't know how
answer,
to
did you
teach
have
me.
any accessible
Nope,
materials?
absolutely
Did you
not.
have any understanding or support
nothing was
from your teachers?
accessible. Hell no, nothing.
Okay.
Zero. Okay, zero.
So how were you treated by your peers at the Masjid and in the Sunday school?
Well, I had my cousins. My
Okay, so
cousins
that-
were cool. My cousins never picked on me or treated me differently because I was blind.
Right.
Never. I give them that much. Right.
Well,
Never.
is maybe that might be different if we got perspectives from other blind people. But growing up, it was the same thing. Like my cousins and my siblings and I include my siblings just because I wasn't raised with them. So they were. We all. It was always
Are we
fun.
going to spend another 45 minutes on you?
Probably. I'm more interesting than you anyway. No, I'm
You
just
are.
kidding.
You
I'm just
are.
kidding. It's a joke.
100% you are.
It's a joke.
100% you are. But
Anyway, so you're
No,
I
go
get
ahead.
where
You
you're
were
coming
saying
from.
your
So
siblings.
siblings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I get exactly where you're coming from because your best friends were your cousins. And,
Yeah.
I get exactly where you're coming. So you had more acceptance at these schools at the Sunday school
Mm-hmm.
because you had family there.
Yep. Yeah, we had.
And once you have family, then you have a group of supporters. People are
through
less
family,
likely.
you meet other kids.
Yes, and people are less
Yeah.
likely to pick on you and all of that nature.
Yep.
Whereas in the public school system, you had nobody.
Yep,
Really.
Exactly. So, yeah, we and even in middle school, for example, me and my brother and my sister, we went to different middle schools. I was in the middle school by myself.
Right.
Right. So because my brother that's a year younger than me, Hamido, he's a year younger than me, so he
he had to
follows
go-
me.
right.
He goes to a different
He
school.
would have gone to your school after you pretty much left or were in the last year of your
Yes,
school.
but he did not.
Right.
No, it's middle school, 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm there 1 year by myself. He should be there with me the next year.
Yeah.
But he goes to a different middle school. There was 2 middle schools.
Okay.
So, I had my brother, I had my sister, I had some of my cousins, and then I introduced. So no, the social aspect within the Masjid was cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was fine. The educational aspect was abysmal.
Okay.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And they don't know how to teach. They really don't know how to teach. I'm not saying this is how it is for every Sunday school, but the one I went to was not good.
Right.
People too strict. People that don't know how to work with children, they put them to work with children. Why
Right.
would you do that?
Right.
This is a terrible decision. Just because they have a standing within a community, or just because you think they have some knowledge, you're going to put them in front of children. That's a stupid move.
I think teaching is an art and not everybody is
Built for it.
built for
No,
it. I
not at
really
all.
believe that. Because I'm telling you, when I was in 7th grade, I got bullied. It was the only year I got bullied by my peers, and it was all encouraged and fueled
by a teacher.
A teacher was the one who actually made those kids, which hurt more because, I had been with these kids in kindergarten. And then the following year when she was gone, back to being friends, I didn't get bullied.
Yeah. So I went to the Sunday school, and like I said, it was cool because it was a good place where I could go see other kids like me that aren't related to me. Right?
Like in terms of Muslim, not blind.
Yeah. No, in terms of Muslim, not blind. That's what we're talking about. Muslim.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And I would do things like I would make the adhan. Right, I would make the call to prayer for Salat al-Dhuhr. Whenever it's time to pray Dhuhr, I would make the call to prayer, and be a nice little confidence boost, right?
Right.
And because I had a nice voice, a lot of people would ask me to recite Quran and stuff like that. But this kind of leads back to the competition idea.
Yeah,
you understand? Everyone's always asking me to recite, not my brother.
Right.
Everyone's expecting Nadir to be good in regards to this and that, not my brother. And then when my brother attempts it, and he does wrong, he gets gets in trouble for it. He gets in trouble for it. He gets ridiculed. Okay. He gets pointed out. He gets, you know what I mean?
Right. That's not okay.
This is what happened.
Okay. But if you notice, though, quite frankly, you have a nice voice, but you're expected to kind of recite. But it almost plays into that blind trope where you're blind, so it's expected for you to memorize.
Yeah, it's expected for you to be this or that.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And so, in terms of in the Muslim community, blind people in general are just expected to memorize Quran, and that's
and
the
be
end
a reciter,
and that's it.
And that's about it.
That's the extent of your, that you've reached the pinnacle of you. And that's it.
Which, like I said, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, but you should also be more than just a reciter. You should be able to have a full life.
Yeah.
So that kind of trope of you reciting or whatever, but I think for you...
But the thing is, I didn't know that trope.
You didn't know that trope
point,
yet.
right?
I think for you, it was more like, well, you kind of started seeing the disparity between how you were being treated versus how your brother was treated.
Well, I didn't see this. I was a stupid little kid. I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't see this.
Right.
But just reflecting on it, you notice it, right?
Yeah.
I
have an eyelash in my eye and it is hurting.
So,
sorry. Sorry.
So that pretty much how it was up until that point. Maybe in the next one we'll go into more depth in regards to different things.
Well, you are going to need more than one episode. You said you wouldn't.
I guess so. I may need a few.
You will.
But we're actually hitting the end. We're about 43, 45 minutes.
Yeah, this is good. This is good because now you're in middle school and we can start from you being in high school.
Yep.
And what that experience was like, and we can move forward from there.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Okay. All right, guys. So please.
Oh, I was right.
What?
You're gonna need more than one episode.
Oh my God. Can you just stop? I love you.
I love you too.
Oh man.
Okay.
Chicken nuggets.
You got it in.
Why? No reason.
No
at
reason.
all.
Just because it's
Nothing
funny.
at all.
Because it's The Simpsons. Because
Exactly.
Ralph.
Yep. Ralph and the Simpsons.
Ralph and the Simpsons.
Maybe when this goes up on YouTube, if you can figure out the episode of the reference, I don't know, maybe we'll give you a shout out or something.
Yeah.
If you put it in the
we gave you the character
in the what is it called?
in the comments.
Comments. Boom. That's the
Wow.
word. 10 points.
Okay, we're done.
10 points. Anyway. All right, guys. So please make sure you guys like this, share this, subscribe, follow. Make sure you follow Islam by Touch on all of our socials. Dita, how can people follow you?
So you can follow me on all the socials at Always Yadira. And I'm everywhere. It's all consistent.
It's all consistent.
You can go. My channel doesn't have too much going on YouTube, but I do plan to add more or whatever. So Always Yadira, and you can go check out whatever singles I put over there because working on the album and whatnot.
So, and yeah, man. So this is how it's going to be, guys. I know this is our first video podcast, like straight up all video. And of course, you guys.
So excuse any, out of frame things. And again, # blind people problems. You're never going to get a perfect thing.
Never. So ever. So
embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you guys on the next one. And I hope you guys join us so we can take you behind the blind.